Hi, welcome to Triathletes in Motion YouTube channel. I'm Mark Evans. Today we're going to talk about a swimming principle, and so many of you want to and need to learn this principle. It is the high elbow catch. But what I like to say that it's a high elbow catch with a low hand, or the hand underneath the elbow. It helps give the athlete a visual orientation of where the limbs should be. What are we looking for? The high elbow catch is a consistently seen physical motion, an attribute, a technique that's used by most competitive swimmers. Mostly, distance swimmers in particular will have very equal bilateral high elbow catches. It is the most efficient type of motion that you can make. It's got basically a lot of leverage. You're catching more undisturbed water out front, and it allows you to have actually a shorter stroke but increase the biomechanical advantage. It also changes the position of the body in the water when you have this. And that's one of the perhaps most often overlooked aspects of a high elbow catch. Let me talk a little bit about what happens when you do this correctly, but let me start with when it's done incorrectly. More often than not, we'll have a swimmer enter the water perhaps with an elbow higher than the hand, which is appropriate, but as your hand passes the head and shoulder, the elbow begins to drop, and I'll exaggerate here a little bit. The elbow begins to drop, or more so like this. The elbow is actually under the wrist. This position causes a downward pressure upon the water. So if my hand is in the water here, downward forces here in order to get leverage on the water. The direction or the resulting forces as you push down on the water are this direction. So therefore, your hips are going to go down, and the forces aren't going to be to propel you forward. They're going to be directions in this array. So if I push down on the water here, I'm going to get reactive forces in the opposite direction, like a line running through here. So here's what you want to do. You enter the water what I call a VLine entry, so just slightly outside. My body, my hands are a V. I'm going to enter the water here, but my elbow stays above the wrist, or above the hand, above the fingertips. At this point, there's an arcing over and down, or around, until the hand, there shouldn't be a lot of propulsive forces or any really. It's a position. So we're just positioning the hand under the elbow, and at that point you have this sweet spot. You have this area of propulsion that's not very long. There's, in the old days, there maybe even today, they talk about you don't want to push your hand past the hips. Well, you don't need to do that with an out front quadrant high elbow catch. You simply push it till the lower rib, and then you go to an early exit. How do you practice this? Well, first things, in all these technical videos, you need to get yourself videoed. With the smartphones available, and even many can go underwater nowadays, you can see where you are now and practice, and over and over and over again. I can remember swimming 20-25s, 50-25s, filming every 4 or 5 25s to make sure that the technique that I was trying to achieve, and the outcome I was looking for was being achieved. No better way than video. It's a principle in my book as well. So having a coach or someone tell you not to do something, fine and good, but you seeing it and then making corrective practices, that's the way to go. I'm Mark Evans. Thanks for watching the Triathletes in Motion YouTube channel. We look forward to presenting more about our book, deeper dive, how-tos. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing. Take care. I'm Mark Evans.